My friend, a woman, was dating a man, and along the dates, violence against women came into discussion. He was all feminist, supporting women, cheering for accountability, calling rapist men losers, and so on. Except in one case. When some woman had made a police report about his own friend for a suspected rape, it was automatically so that this woman is a liar, and there is no chance that his own friend could be a rapist. Because he's a good guy. A good guy with a regular job, a nice family, plenty of friends, a promising young man. And that kind of men don't rape women. Or do they? Violence against women is a gender-based crime. What that means is the main motive behind the violence is the gender. In other words, someone gets abused because they are a woman or a girl. That's called hate against women, misogyny. Every third woman worldwide will experience sexual or physical violence during their lifetime, most often by someone who's close to them, a partner, an ex-partner, colleague, relative. It happens in every culture, every country, every social class. It has many different forms: intimate partner violence, sexual harassment, sexual violence and rape, conflict-related sexual violence, trafficking, child brides, acid throwing, honor-related killings, female genital mutilation, and so on. On every third woman. But if I'm not one of those women, is that really my problem? Violence against women is not just a personal tragedy, it's a deep societal wound. It doesn't only affect the woman who is hurt, but also her children, her family, her community, and ultimately all of us. When a woman is violated, it impacts her mental health, her ability to study, to work, to trust, to live freely. It creates cycles of fear and silence. It forces many women to live under a survival mode rather than thrive. Economically, the cost of violence is massive. Healthcare systems, legal processes, shelters, social services, all are impacted. It is estimated to cost up to 2% of every country's GDP. Violence against women also sends a strong message, a message about whose voice matters, whose safety can be ignored. It reinforces inequality. It teaches girls to shrink and boys to dominate. It shapes the culture we all live in. So even if you're not directly affected, even if you're not one of those 1 in 3 women, you are still impacted. We all are. But guess what? We have all the solutions to end and prevent violence against women. Here they come in a nutshell. Of course, governments and institutions play a crucial role. We need strong laws, effective enforcement, policies that promote gender equality, education systems that teach respect and consent, multi-sectoral cooperation, everyone working together. But the truth is, laws alone are not enough. Affecting attitudes require much more focus on a grassroots level. In dinner tables, classrooms, workplaces, on the street, in everyday conversations. So to be honest, if we have all the solutions, why is violence against women still such a prevalent problem? What is still missing if we have all the knowledge and the tools? A willpower. That's what's missing. It's been buried under apathy, ignorance, and silence. We've all heard the sentence, if you see something, say something. So why so often we choose to turn away and stay silent? Why don't we act? Have you been in a situation where you have witnessed a racist shouting or a homophobic gesture or a sexist joke, a rape joke towards someone else but not you? And your reaction was that you kept silent even though you knew now it's the time to react. Now, what are the consequences when you stay silent? Psychological and emotional harm for the victim, most likely, maybe more. And for the perpetrator, you see, the silence you kept during the attack gave a strong message for both the perpetrator and for the victim that this behavior, this sexist joke, was indeed acceptable, that you stand on a perpetrator's side. Let me be clear. Silence helps the oppressor. And silence and apathy show a green light to go to the next step. When I'm talking about steps, I'm talking about the steps on the pyramid of misogynistic behavior. Without anyone intervening, without accountability, violence against women escalates. One step at a time. Until the very fifth step, femicide, killing the woman. Now, how about you? Did this have consequences to you as a bystander? I want us to give us some thought for the question, if you saw something, why didn't you say something? And when I'm using a pronoun you, my intention is not to blame you. Maybe you specifically are one of those who always intervene, who always say something. But if you're not, please, instead of getting upset or provoked, take these following questions as a quick therapy session or a trip into your attitudes, thoughts, and behavior, and mainly just as a good chance to self-reflect in order to become a better ally. So why didn't you act? Maybe you were afraid of backlash, retaliation, conflict, or misjudging the situation. Maybe you assumed that someone else would do something, which is called the bystander effect. Maybe you didn't want to get involved, thinking, this is not my business. Or maybe you wanted to do something, but you got confused, in shock, or you froze out. Or maybe you were thinking your actions wouldn't make any difference, or it would make things worse for the victim. Now, all these reasons are social and psychological reasons. They're all easy to relate to, easy to understand. But being understandable doesn't always equal being acceptable. But if these were the reasons why you haven't intervened, I can tell you these are all quite easy to work on, change. If you want to. If you think it's worth it. If you think supporting women is important. But what requires stronger self-reflection, supported by structural, cultural, and social change, are the following reasons for not intervening. Maybe you were thinking, this kind of thing just happened, which is called the normalization of violence. Or you were thinking that the one who got harassed caused it themselves or deserved it, which is called victim blaming. Maybe you acknowledge that the harasser is in position of authority and therefore you saw intervening as problematic. Actually, violence against women is all about power dynamics and authorities. Or maybe you simply didn't know what to do, that due to the culture of silence, you never really thought about it, or you never received any training or advice. One more question. And if this question makes you feel annoyed, I think you already know the answer. Can it be that you are sexist? That you don't think violence against women is problematic? That it's not serious enough to act on? That it's harmless? That women are just overreacting? Or that women deserve it? Am I sexist? I'm not sure. I hope not. I would want to be. But why do I question it? Well, simply because in a patriarchal world, our thoughts and behavior, our values, they are all so deeply internal, rooted and biased that we don't often even realize it ourselves. A few years ago, UN made a global study about the attitudes towards different genders, and it turned out that over 90% of this planet were seeing men more worthy than women. So I truly believe that questioning your own values and thoughts every now and then is only good thing to do. Well, maybe you're thinking, now, what should I do if my friend commits violence against women? To get back to the story about my friend who was dating a guy who didn't believe that his own friend could be a rapist because he's a good guy. A good guy and his friend. You see, it's truly logical and natural to believe your friend. Of course it is. And rape is one of the most hurtful crime there is. So I'm not saying you shouldn't believe your friend, but I want you to remember that it is possible. Being a so-called good guy doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. I have worked with both perpetrators and victims of rape. And the typical profile of a rapist has nothing to do with a nice personality. Does the name Giselle Pellicot ring a bell to you? She's that extremely brave woman from France whose husband drugged her for over 9 years and invited over 50 men to rape her while she was unconscious. Now all these men, including Giselle's husband, were all living quite regular lives. There was a nurse, a journalist, a lorry driver, prison warden, soldier, counselor, farmer. Most of them have families. So what is common with rapists is not their job or lifestyle or even relationship status, but their belief system and values. And by values, I mean misogyny, hate against women. The thought that you own women, that you have the right to control them. These are really dangerous thoughts that affect our everyday behavior. So maybe now you're wondering, if my friend commits violence against women, what should I do? Take the scale out. What happens if you intervene? What happens if you don't? Which one is more important to you? What do you have to lose? What does the victim have to lose? Do you want to be part of the solution or part of the problem? Now let's not wait until tomorrow. Time to stop the excuses and turn them into action is now. Intervening doesn't just help others, but benefits all of us. It's a good deal for societies, for communities, for workplaces, even for you. It shapes the culture we all live in into a safer place for everyone. Silence allows violence to continue and grow, but intervening, even in smallest ways, can save lives, literally. And when you leave here today, you will hear something. You will see something. You will notice a moment where you could step in, speak up, or show support. The only question is, will you? Thank you.